Okay, this is my attempt at explaining the mechanic witch hunt for M4S. There's going to be a lot of mistakes in this, but I'm trying my best to just do this in one recording. So hopefully it helps. Uh, One of the very first things that you need to know about this is your bait. And what that means is when you have to bait the boss into stomping on you using those two symbols from the mechanic just before this. So if you're familiar with these two symbols from the one before, you know that the pink one means she's going to attack the nearest players, and the blue one means she's going to attack the furthest ones. And she is going to go back and forth between these two for 4 counts. Either she's going to first indicate pink, blue, which is one order, or start with the blue, so blue, pink, which is the second one. At first, this seems complicated. This guide is kind of just focused on you alone, so you're not thinking about the other players in the team, just what you can do for yourself. So I broke this down so that it can be easier for you. So if you're a tank, look at your box. If you're ranged, look at the other box, healer, melee, etc. All you need to memorize is if it's pink first, then I go blank. If it's blue first, I go blank. So let's say you're melee. You, when the mechanic starts, you look at the boss and it goes blue, pink. Just memorize this. If it's blue first, I go fourth, as you can see here. Or if she flashed pink, blue, then pink was first. So if you were melee, you would have thought, okay, pink means I go third. Write these down. It's all you need. Just the I go first or I go second, I go third or I go fourth, but whether it's pink or blue. I know it's confusing at first, but just have that as a note on the side and it'll help you for what's to come. With that aside, we'll go to my poorly drawn map. And the first thing we got to introduce is the boss. And then what we're going to have is everybody in their clock spots. So everybody's going to be surrounding the boss. But for this mechanic, I'm just going to focus on one so that it's just you alone and you're not looking at your other players. And whatever letter or number, it doesn't really matter what's up there because this is just wherever you are on your clock spots. If I need more waymarks, I'll bring them in later. But for now, we're just focusing on you. Next, we need the player, and he is going to be moving between those 4 blue dots you see underneath, just to indicate the proximity you are to the boss. So, first mechanic is before anything, you are looking at the name of the attack. There are two names, either narrowing witch hunt, which means a donut is going to go off and you have to get inside, or widening witch hunt, and a AoE is going to blast under the boss and you have to get out for it. So for this example, if it's narrowing witch hunt, the first thing you got to do is get on the inside. If the waymarks are properly placed, they should be cut along where the donut and AoE separate. And the ideal place, unless you otherwise need to change places, is to hug your waymark on the inside or outside for whatever you need. So for narrowing witch hunt, it would be like this. But if it's If it's widening witch hunt, you'd get on the outside. Now, this is going to go off 4 times like we discussed. You don't have to track the order of them, just know they're going to go back and forth as long as you know the name. So widening, it starts on the outside, so the first blast is going to be in the center, and then you have to move in, then out, then in, and you're good. Now, that's pretty basic and straightforward. The catch is that if you remember from before, the near and far symbols, they're going off at the same time. So after you've seen the name, the boss is going to flash the 4 symbols back and forth. Pink was first, then blue, pink, then blue for this example. And your job was to catch the first one and then remember your square of whatever job you are, I go blank. This means that while you're moving in and out, whatever your turn is, that's the one you have to bait the boss to stomp you. Because everybody can take just one stomp, but if you get hit twice, you're dead. So, for example, let's say you're ranged. For ranged, if I'm pink, I go 4th. If I'm blue, I go 3rd. The boss did pink first, so I am going 4th. So I'm going to follow everyone for the first 4 mechanics. It's narrowing witch hunt, meaning move in. So 1, I'm in with everyone else, hugging the edge, because 2 people are going to be closer to the boss to be the nearest to take the first stomps. And then 2, 3. Now the 4th one, I don't go back to the same location because the 4th one is going to be her hitting the 2 furthest opponents. So I need to move further out than everybody else so that I get hit by the stomp. Once that goes off, we should all be good, and then the mechanic moves on, or the fight moves on. Anyway, for another example, I'll do it one more time. Let's say you're the tank. If it's pink, I go first. If it's blue, I go second, is all you should have memorized. Once again, it's narrowing witch hunt, and I'm the tank. If it's pink, I go first. If it's blue, I go second. It's blue. So the first mechanic of the boss charging up was blue. Blue, I go second. Now, you got to remember that the boss is going to hit blue first, so the 2 furthest opponents. So everybody has to move closer to the boss so that the 2 healers, for this example, would be right up against the edge. So everybody in the party is close enough that they don't get stomped on, and the 2 healers get the first one by baiting them, by staying right on the edge. And now the next one will be pink, meaning 2 nearest ones, and this is the tank's turn, so he will stay close to the edge right here, while everybody else gets further out so they don't get hit by the bait. And then you get your stomp. Very good. And then continue on. It's a blue again, so you stay in close for either the melee or range to take their turn. And then lastly, everybody moves out, so the last 2 can stay up close to the edge for their stomp. And that's essentially the mechanic. I can give one random example to just let you try, but here's the catch. Widening and narrowing is not tied to the symbols. So sometimes you can hug the inside, other times you have to go further out because it depends on whether it's near, far, or far, near. If that makes sense. So just for an example, widening witch hunt, you know what that's going to be. Just play along, just try to imagine you are your job and you know what your if I'm pink, I am blank. If I am blue, I am blank. It's pink. First attack, where are you supposed to be? Second attack, where are you supposed to be? Third attack, where are you supposed to be? And fourth attack, where are you supposed to be? Hopefully that helps you all. And hopefully this guide does something for you. Hector's video is still perfectly fine. I just thought this was helpful to help people just understand it from a solo point of view a little better. Thanks for watching.